Well, hello there, Retro PC Durham. It's Chris here with another laptop. We got this Toshiba Satellite A500 to look at today. Pretty decent condition. We got this, it's all plastic, right? Little design on the top here with the Toshiba logo. We'll take a look at the back. It's just the hinge. First side, we've got Kensington lock, power connector, a modem, because this is a slightly older, it's a Core 2 Duo series machine. So 2007-ish. USB ports, DVD multi-burner. It's nice that you've got the multi-burner on there. A lot of the ones that are in this age, it's a DVD-ROM and a CD burner. So having the multi-burner, at least having an optical drive that can do all DVD stuff is convenient. Front of the unit, we've got some status indicator lights, a manual on-off switch for the Wi-Fi, a blank spot here, which I'm assuming may have been for something like an infrared port, but there's nothing there right now, and an SD card slot. And then when we look on the final side, we have audio ports, a slot here which I believe is an express card, an eSATA port, HDMI, Ethernet, VGA, a USB port, and then a nice big exhaust port. Flipping over to the bottom here, we'll take a look at what we've got going on here. So first off, we will remove our battery. And then under door number 1 is going to be our hard drive. So for servicing here, it's quite easy to just pop that off. And you've got a 2.5-inch drive slot here where you can put a disk drive or SSD. And then on this side, we've got our memory. And then our Wi-Fi adapter down here. And then there's 2 additional slots here. One of them is quite small, so I'm assuming this would be for a WWAN card, I'm guessing, because there's already a wireless card. And then a slightly longer one on this side, which I'm assuming is for an optional mSATA storage device. So you could actually have an mSATA SSD in here, and then your spinning disk on this side, if you wanted to get a little bit more storage and have that solid state capability. So let me get this all screwed back up, and we will flip it back over and take a look at our keyboard and our screen. Okay, so when we flip the lid here, pretty standard 15.3 inch glossy screen here. This is a 1366 by 768 panel, so pretty cheap. And then it does have a webcam on the top there, which is like crap. It's a crap 240p webcam. Okay, we take a look at our top here. We've got a touchpad, which is kind of built into the wrist rest here. I'm not a big fan of this. At least does have a slightly different feeling to it. So if you're not watching, you can actually see, you can feel your way through it. The buttons are pretty clunky though, and the keyboard is not nice to type on. The keys are very strange in terms of the way they're moved together. There's no curvature to any of them, so you don't really feel the tops of the keys when you're typing on them. So it's a little bit awkward. You've got these 2 big stereo speakers here. It's a Harman Kardon stereo speakers. Ooh, power button, and then we've got some indicator lights with controls here for media controls and volume controls, etc. So pretty interesting, I guess. One thing I did note here is when you do hit the power button, you get some illumination on your system here. So what'll happen is the Toshiba Satellite logo on the bottom here, as well as this little LED across the touchpad, will actually illuminate, which I think would actually be pretty convenient in a low light situation, because you don't have like a task light or anything built like a ThinkPad would have. You don't have a backlit keyboard on this one, so at least having that little bit of illumination with these control keys and with the touchpad area in a low light environment, you'd be able to see what you were doing. All right, we're going to switch up the camera view here and take a look at what's going on in Windows. Now that we're all set up in Windows here, we'll take a quick look at our specs. So in Hardware Info 64, we see our Intel Core 2 Duo processor. This is a T6600, obviously, dual core. And we're running at about 2.2 gigahertz at max clock speed. Hard disk drive, we've got that Toshiba 320 gig drive and the TSST Corp DVD multi-burner. Graphics wise, this is actually great. We've got a discrete graphics card, and it's not what I would describe as crappy for the time. We have a 512 megabyte GeForce G210M. So for mobile graphics in a Windows XP Vista time period, like super great. In Windows 7, still pretty decent. And even now in a Windows 10 environment, this isn't terrible. Absolutely any desktop graphics are going to be handled by this perfectly. And simple games like Roblox and Minecraft, you're not going to be running into issues on this as well. It's even possible that some low-end games that don't require multi-core performance from a processor perspective might still be able to run on this in a reasonable performance level as well. Memory-wise, we've got 4 gig of RAM. Memory-wise, we have 4 gig of RAM. That is a pair of Samsung DDR3 sticks. And yeah, that's it. Now we'll switch over and take a look at our CrabRave view in Chrome. So one of the things I've done here is I have installed a Chrome extension called X264FI. That's X264IFY. And what it does is it changes the compression type that's coming off of YouTube for older machines to help it have a little bit better performance. And that's one of the, I've found it was suggested by a viewer, and I've really been impressed with how well this works. So this is running at 1080p, and in the normal compression for YouTube, this would normally be kind of stuttery and dropping quite a few frames. But running in this X264 compression instead, we get great quality, no drop frames at all, and a really crisp view. So I'm going to start making sure that I include that extension on every single computer that I run with. And I think that's actually really great that, extensions like that exist to allow you to be able to get slightly better performance in a modern workload, right? Like 1080p YouTube videos, but not have to worry about the performance of your system. Now, obviously, I think that extension, when you're running an X264, may limit you in terms of the maximum resolution. I don't think you may be able to do 4K when you're doing that. However, doing 4K on a 768p screen is not really something you're going to be looking at anyway. So it is what it is, and it works for this case. So that's our look at this Toshiba Satellite A500. Thanks for checking out my video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have one of these laptops, maybe still even using it, let me know in the comments down below if you're still using it, if you've made any upgrades to it, what you're using it for today, and how it's been working out for you. As always, I hope you're staying safe and healthy, and we'll catch you in the next one.